Hello and welcome back to my biography channel. Tashdilek to all of you. Today I would like to continue the biography of Gyalwang Drukpa Tsangbagyere, the first Gyalwang Drukpa who founded the Drukpa lineage in Tibet. And at the very beginning of this biography explanation, I explain you the definition of Kargyud. Why it's called Kargyud, Kargyud or Kargyud. So there are two names for Kargyudlineage. Ka means teachings of the Buddha. Gyu means lineage. So generally this means all the the lineage of Buddhists who follows Buddha's teachings. So that's Kargyud. Generally it can be referred to Kargyudlineage also. It can be other. So especially why it's called Kargyud. So there is a reason why it's called Kargyud. Kargyud means kar means white and gyu means lineage. That means very pure and white, crystal clear lineage. That means crystal clear lineage. Who follow the crystal clear lineage. So that's the one definition. Then the other one is the definition or the explanation is that the lineage who has pure devotion. Kar means pure devotion towards masters. So Kargyud means the lineage. So Kargyud, the lineage which holds the pure devotion towards his own master or their masters. That's the Kargyud. In Tibetan we say Mekyu Karbu Chiktup, and the Lord Pema Karpo, great scholar of Drukpa Kargyud, once said something like that. I bow down to those who wears white shawls and follows the pure devotion lineage. So these definitions are actually derived from one of the Drukpa Kargyud scholar and master, Thakurchu Gyalwang. So Thakurchu Gyalwang, in his book, in his biography on Drukpa Kargyud teachers or masters, he explained like that. So people generally confused about these two different how to say the title, Kargyud and Kargyud. So the better one is maybe for Kargyud. Kargyud is better one. The pure devotion lineage is the better. It suits the lineage of Drukpa Kargyud. Okay, so I would like to continue the biography of Tsangbagyere, as I told you before. So Tsangbagyere actually built three main centers. The one is Ralung. So Ralung is actually quite famous this in the picture you can see the Ralung, you know. Yeah, nowadays only ruins. You can only, you know, find ruins in you know, nearby Lhoka in Tibet, in Lhoka. So, you know, it's quite yeah. So actually, previously very famous, you know. Before 1959, it was quite famous and the center and very big monasteries there, and many, you know, monks and yogis, you know, studies there, and all, you know, the glorious time, you know, at the time. Then after demolish of this monastery by the communist China, now it's only ruin. But in the 80s, you know, or 90s, the followers of the Drukpa, you know, could, you know, restore it. You know, they built a small monastery there. So if you go to Tibet, you should visit that small Tibetan, you know, very small monastery you can, you know, find, and these big ruins, you know. So my teacher also came from this monastery. so you know, this very sad, you know, nowadays. When we look at these ruins, I felt like, you know, crying, because you know, very sad. The Master Sangpa built this, you know, and now nothing, you know, it's only ruins. Anyway, it's past, it's gone. But you cannot, you know, demolish the teachings of Drukpa lineage, which is in our heart, you know. So I will show you the okay, I will show you other picture of the second monastery. This is this Namdruk. We call it Namdruk. Namdruk is situated nearby Lhasa. We call it's a place is called Nam, and Druk means the monastery. So Namdruk monastery we call it. Previously, this is the main, you know, center of Lord Sangpa Gyare. All his disciples from all over the Tibet, you know, came there, gathered there, and listened to his teachings. And after death of Sangpa Gyare, also his disciples carried the legacy or his, you know, tradition. Like his first monastery seat holder was the Venre Dharmasenghe, you know, who carried father, you know, it till today, let's say till today. So previously in the past, you know, historically it was very famous. The place is famous for you know, its remote and its beauty, surrounded by beautiful mountains. Nowadays, you know, you can see the restored monastery. So, and it's also, you know, it's also very in a, you know, quite how to say, it was also, I heard it was also demolished, you know. So if I think now it's a time to restore it. So if any of you would like to restore or want to or willing to help to restore these monasteries, Drukpa monasteries, you can go to www.drukparestorations.org, drukparestorations.org. You can go there and you can then, you know, make donation or whatever you can, you know. That would be a great contribution, you know, to restore and you know, make it Dharma available for all. Okay, so I will go back to other details, you know. And this is Ralung, as I explained you before. And there is also one place, you know, the third one he built was the Longdul. Longdul is, you know, situated at mountain peak nearby Nyathang village. So if you go from Nyathang, you have to walk up, you know, in the mountain. So Nyathang is situated in the Chushul district, you know, Chushul district nearby Lhasa. If you go to Tibet, you should visit these three main, you know, how to say, centers, you know, built by Lord Sangpa Gyare. Okay, so these are his some, you know, how to say, dharma activities, or his establishments and achievements, let's say, and colleges, let's say. Also these are Buddhist colleges, you know, who can also learn something, especially in the especially in the Drukpa tradition. We have to have the not only the academic section, but also we have to have the, you know, meditational center. Otherwise it's you know, intellectual, and you know, you cannot you know, achieve inner realizations or something like that. So that's why our forefathers, or forefathers, let's say, our previous masters who really, you know, establish not only the monasteries as well as dharma, or let's say retreat centers or meditation centers. So that was Longdul, the third one. Okay, so he did a great job. So now we have to go further, you know, otherwise we cannot finish. So in in the past, or in previous my videos, I explained you, in the last video also I explained you about the, you know, from him, you know, it split it into three main, you know, branches or lineages of Drukpas, namely Upper Drukpa, Middle Drukpa, and Lower Drukpa. So normally in Tibet, people used to say Upper Drukpa is like a stars, and Middle Drukpa is like a sand in the water, Lower Drukpa is like how to say, dust on the earth, you know, dust of the earth. So that means it spread very widely in Tibet. Okay, so the question is, who carried these all, you know, activities, dharma activities, and who taught you know, Drukpa Kargyud teachings in those places in Tibet? So he had mainly 9 you know, major, let's say, he had major disciples, you know, and there are many thousands of also other, you know, authentic masters he got, or he had, how to say, he created, or how to say, he had, you know, at that time in the 12th century, or maybe 12th century. So it's very early, right? So but because of his glory and because of his, you know, compassion, all that happened, you know. So we will count, you know, his main disciples 1 to 9. So his main disciple, like the first, you know, Pariva, second Jangmokhapa, and third in the line we have, you know, Master Jayakpa, and fourth Demova, and fifth Lorepa, and sixth Gutsangpa, and seventh we have you know, Joye, and you know, eighth Gaye, and ninth Deye. So Deye. So these, the last three masters are known as you know, known as three yogis or something like that, three yogis. And the six, you know, first to six masters are yogis as well as very learned, you know. So the first six are very well known, and the second, or let's say the last three, you know, number 7 to 9 disciples were famous, but you know, let's say not very, you know, as much as popular as the previous 6, you know, as I counted down. So you have to, you know, think of their activities, their how to say, Dharma teachings, and their establishments and so on. So from the master like Pariva and Kyangmokhapa and Jayakpa, Demowa, Joye, Gaye, Deye, all these 6, now I'm mixing a little bit, mixing up, so all these from them, from these six, it was called 8, let's say 8 younger, let's say eight younger son lineage were born. 8 younger son lineage were born, and they are the seat, or they were the seat holders of the middle Drukpa, and they really dedicated all their life to middle Drukpa. And the rest two masters like Lorepa and Gotsangpa. Lorepa was the pioneer of lower Drukpa, who established lower Drukpa and did many Dhamma activities. I will tell you later. And Gotsangpa was the pioneer to how to say, bestow the Drukpa Kargyudlineage and give teachings on Drukpa Kargyudlineage in upper region of Tibet, in Himalayas and beyond Himalayas, let's say in India and so on, Ladakh and so. He was the pioneer, and so he established the upper Drukpa. So from both of them, developed or born, let's say, the elder son lineage of Drukpa. It's a saying, Tibetan saying, or in the biographies you can find these explanations. Okay, so we have to when we have to really have to think, or just to know these small explanations or details about those disciples. Okay, so I hope you got my point, and I would like to stop here. And Tujiche, thank you for watching me. Continue watching my videos. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.